Alabama gets set to practice today. And one of the things when I look at this unit that Alabama coaches and Kalen DeBoer have to be excited about is that running back room. And I'm going to tell you why those guys are going to have a monster season right here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel, brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Let's get the party started. Roll Tide, everybody. Say, guys, it's Mick Gillespie. Thanks for hanging out with us here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. And I want to remind you, we're brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Big Elmo is out of action today. He's on assignment. He will be back tomorrow. So let's talk about Alabama football. And I wanted to talk about this practice today, the morning practices, getting ready for Western Kentucky in Tuscaloosa right at the end of the month to get this season going. What are we going to see? And I think a lot of people are asking that question, like, what's this offense going to look like? Because the offense is now going to become the strength of Alabama football because Kalen DeBoer is their coach. You look where he's been in the past. Yeah, strong defense a year ago in Washington, strong enough to let the offense win the game. And in other stops he's had, it's not like he gives up on defense, but offense is his specialty. And I don't think that he's going to be able to look back and go, man, I had better running backs at Indiana. I had better running backs at Washington, at Fresno State, and definitely not in the lower level schools. But Alabama's running back room is absolutely loaded. And it starts with Justice Haynes, who is the running back. We saw a little bit of him last year from Beaufort, Georgia. I think Alabama's going to rely on the sophomore. We're going to see a lot of him. And then everyone loves Jam Miller. He's great, not only running the football, he's explosive, but he also has the ability to catch the ball. And I just got this feeling that Jam Miller is going to be utilized a lot by this coaching staff and their ability to get the ball to players in space. I mean, you saw the play in the SEC championship game where Miller caught it, scored a touchdown. But he's also a burst guy, and it's exciting to have him. Now, the other guy is Richard Young, and we haven't talked as much about the redshirt freshman from Lehigh Acres, but I'll tell you, this is another guy who, when you see him with the football, can do a lot of stuff. I mean, he is a difference maker. And then just kind of talking about some of the other guys, Kevin Riley out of Tuscaloosa, Daniel Hill out of Meridian. These are two guys who at the same time, I mean, if there's a spot on the field where someone could make a difference early, right, it's running back. But I really feel like when you look at this running back room, you're saying, okay, why, besides the fact that they have talent and, they lost guys to the NFL and the transfer portal, why would this group be so good? And I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of it has to do with the offensive line. I think that this offensive line is going to be absolutely legit. And you look at it, and one of the biggest issues that Alabama had last year was the snapper, was the center snapping the ball. Okay. And this year you go and you replace him with Parker Brailsford from Washington, who was part of the best offensive line in the country last year. And so the redshirt sophomore is going to, just snap the ball, just get the ball to Jalen Milroe and make things happen. The other guy to me is Tyler Booker. I love Tyler Booker. I love what the junior brings to the table, not just the 6'5", 235-pound frame, but the brain, the fact that he was one of the guys that helped keep this offense together when everyone on the defensive side of the football in the secondary was transferring to other places. He was one of the guys that was like, hey, people were asking me, what are we going to do? And he said, I've wanted to play here since I was a little kid. I'm not going anywhere. And he helped keep the group together. And then obviously Caden Proctor, who did leave. and went to Iowa and then realized, hey, wait a second. You know what? I had a pretty good deal at Alabama. That's my guys. And transferred back, which is really crazy to think about. But when you start to look at that, at the group that Alabama has, don't forget about Jaden Roberts. And then you sprinkle in the other guys and you go, you know what? We've got enough to have a pretty good rotation. And on top of that, the players that are on the field on the offensive line are some of the best players at their position that Alabama has. And so it's really exciting if you're a running back to know that you're going to have some holes. And I think that teams are going to try to really, they're going to have to pay attention to the deep ball that Milroe has always thrown well. If he is able to work on the mid-range game, which we've talked about on here a lot, where he's able to throw those mid-range passes and basically get rid of the ball a little faster, clean up the footwork, use the strong arm on the short passes, and then he's throwing beautiful balls. You see it at practice every day. That this Alabama team has a real good chance of running the ball right down teams' throats. So I put it out there. So much of this relies on this guy right here. And those are the type of passes I'm talking about. You know, the being able to hit the short range stuff, take advantage of the wheels that these guys have. And I feel like with DeBoer, that having like elite running backs like Alabama has with Miller and with Haynes and with Young, that those guys are going to be a different weapon that he might not have even been able to utilize in Washington, where he didn't have this level of running. And I think that you're going to be surprised by how much Alabama does run the ball this year. And I think that that's going to be a few factors. And one of them is when Milroe does that right there and throws those deep balls, you have to play back and respect that. I think the other thing is that Milroe, if I'm Alabama's coaching staff, needs to utilize his legs, and I got a feeling they're going to make a lot more design runs for him this season. And then the other thing is I feel like this offensive line, they're so good. They're going to open up holes. I just feel like Alabama's offense is going to click. It's going to be one of the strongest offenses, I think, in the SEC. And I'm super excited to see that. And, you know, when Alabama practices today, you know, we'll be keeping an eye on that. What are the position battles on the offensive line? You know, we talked to Clint Lamb about that last week. And, you know, and since then, Proctor moved from the second team to the first team. But they said, hey, we're moving a lot of different people into a lot of different spots here. I just can't imagine Caden Proctor not being on the first team when we saw how much better he got as the season went last year. And then if I'm one of these running backs, I know that there's going to be plenty of opportunities for me to touch the ball, run through holes, and score points. And I think that's really exciting. And that's the point of the show today, is just that you get jacked up about this running back group. And it doesn't feel like many people are talking about it. We talked a lot about the wide receivers. We've talked a lot about Jalen Milroe and kind of the fact that he's back this year and it's his team. And there's no question about that. For him, it's been help raise money on the NIL front. He's been out in the community. He's done a lot of stuff there, and then get this team ready for him to basically get under center and run the show from day one, knowing that it's his team and it's his job. And could he have a Heisman type year? Yeah. I mean, he's got the body, he's got the experience. How quickly though, is he going to be able to take what Kalen DeBoer and Nick Sheridan are giving him with the playbook, understanding the playbook, and then utilize that? But everybody keeps saying that they feel like he's done a really good job of that and that he is figuring that out. So the better that Milroe does, the better that the running game's going to be. I promise you, because of the fact that he's such a dual threat guy. And I think that this offense is going to be so explosive. You know, they're going to want to get the ball into the hands of the wide receivers, but I really feel like the running back room it's going to be one of the best running back rooms as long as everyone stays healthy that Alabama's had. All right, guys, you get in the comment section. Tell me what you think. What's the group you're the most excited about? Who is it that you can't wait to see on the football field? I'm sure some of you guys are going to tell me, hey, I can't wait to see these corners. I can't wait to see the defensive line. I don't know how you could argue that the offensive line isn't the strength of the team, and maybe besides Milroe. But that, to me, is the start of a champion when you have the guys up front to give you protection, to open up the run game, and to give the quarterback time to pass the ball down the field. Show's brought to you by our friends at Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. We talk about it all the time over here. Make sure that you swing over and check it out. They've got table games and slots. They've got Dancing Rabbit. That's the one of the best golf courses in the South, the best in Mississippi. You spend $50 in the sports book and Golden Moon Casino, and you can go over there and golf without a membership for $40. So it's a great weekend. You know, it's or really any time. But I mean, I'm just thinking like, hey, you work all week, you want to have a quick vacation, you can go hour and a half from Tuscaloosa or wherever you're at down here, get there, play some golf, do some gambling, table games and slots, full casino, Vegas style, and the beers aren't $20. You know, like that, things are actually affordable there. So, and you'll have a good time. Bring your friends with you. But check it out. Rodney Carrington's going to be there soon. They've got acts. They're celebrating 30 years at Pearl River Resort. So we appreciate them for being a part of what we do here on the show. So thanks for hanging out, guys. Also, last week for you to cash in on this, the Daniel Moore fine art calendar for this season. And if you use the promo code Bama Tailgate, he'll sign the calendar for you for free. So you'll actually have the calendar will be signed, and that makes it like a collector's item. So even afterwards, you frame it. There's the signature on the side. And all you got to do is put the Bama Tailgate in the promo code section, and they automatically upgrade you to the autographed calendar. So check it out. It's all about Nick Saban this year. Look at this. I want a Kalen DeBoer calendar. He's got to win some championships first. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us, guys. And roll tide, everybody. We will talk to you again tomorrow.
To Pearl River Resort.